What's up, giggly witches?
It's episode 25.
Wait, and then I forgot that it was 25, and I was like, wait, is it episode 25? Damn
Okay, we
it.
were gonna try and go back and forth, but we were just like, let's see what happens. That we're gonna try this every week until we get it really good.
Yeah.
Let's start again.
Wow, I
But
just startled myself that it was episode 25. I know we've talked about this a lot too,
we made it to
but I was
episode
like, oh my God, is
25.
it episode
No
25?
more episodes after this. We're done.
That's it.
We did it.
And that's
We
it.
achieved that particular statistic, and I think we're done here.
Yeah.
Just
And
kidding.
I think I've seen what I needed to see,
I see
and
what we need to
that's
see,
it.
and I think we're
I
good.
can't believe I messed that up. I was so excited about it being so funny.
I was like, should I have said more? Was that too short?
No, you said episode 25 and it startled me.
You're like,
I was like, wait, episode 25. It's like I've been talking about this since episode 4.
we made it.
Whee!
And today
Hooray!
we're going to talk about vision boards and
Mm-hmm.
manifesting and setting intentions because this
Yeah.
episode comes out the day after the new year. So it's a good time
Yes.
of year. It's all on our minds. But you can do this any time of year. I feel like what I was thinking about today, which I'm very like hyped on New Year. I love it. I also get hyped for Astro New Year.
Mm-hmm.
I love manifesting. I love setting new intentions, you know? That's that's
Yes.
that's me. I have a lot of energy when it comes to that
What?
part of my life. What? I'm a hype girl, you know? But
This is
also
in Friends when they all know. I can't even remember what episode it is, but Phoebe's like, that is brand new information.
I'm very Phoebe.
That's what that just made me think of. That's how I wanted to respond. That is brand
Brand
new.
new information. Wait, you sent me the GIF recently or Jeff, I never fucking know. But that's like this is my favorite clip in Friends. I think it's Joey makes a comment about like Santa not being real, and
Yes.
she's like, yeah, no, for sure. And then her face is like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
if you're not
And
watching the episode,
she's
her eyes get really big. She's like, yeah,
she's like,
for sure.
and when you meant about Santa Claus, you meant, and Joey goes, that he's not real. And she goes, right, right, of course.
That's like my favorite scene. That and
So
Ross and
funny.
the margaritas. I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Fine. Those are my two favorite scenes. But I was just thinking about today how like literally nothing is real and it doesn't
Mm,
matter that much, so we should all just take it all like less seriously and not worry so
dance
much.
through life.
Dancing through life,
I know I was thinking about that before, and
not
I was like, I
giving a
wonder
fuck.
if like sometimes I'm like, what does it say about me that I love this song so much? And I was like just laughing because I saw somebody be like, um, Fiero's just like singing about how he's depressed and he's a nihilist and nothing fucking matters. And all of his friends are like dancing through life. They're like having a great time. And he's like, nothing fucking matters. And I'm a nihilist and I'm depressed.
Yeah. I do think like at the end of the day, obviously things matter, but life is
Nothing
short
matters.
and nothing really does fucking matter
Yeah.
that much. Like the kinds of things where we're all so worried about what everybody thinks and whatever. And I'm like, guys, everybody's worried about what you think. They're not thinking about you. We're all very
Yeah.
self-centered.
Yeah. I know. Okay, but you know what? That's what everyone says about like going to the gym. They're like, nobody's
Yeah.
looking at you at the gym.
Yeah.
I'm looking at everybody at the
I
gym. I'm looking at what everybody is doing.
Yeah. Well, I am a people watcher, but
Yeah.
it's never out of like
No, not judging.
judgment, right? I'm like
Just
it's
like,
like curiosity. And if anything, I like stare at strangers and I get really emotional because I'm like, they've got souls and they've got lives and they've got problems. And I start to really spiral. And then I'm like, I love them.
oh my goodness. My best friend from LA, her name's Selma,
hmm
and she just says the silliest things. So I started making a list called Shit Selma Says. And she was shooting Musink. Did you ever go to Musink?
Oh, it sounds familiar.
It's like a music festival slash like tattoo convention. It was really
Oh,
cool. So she was shooting that. So we went and we walk in and we're just like walking through. And all of a sudden she just stops me and she goes, "Everybody here has a name." And I
that's
was
some real
like,
shit. I
yeah,
feel like me and someone would get along
you guys
because
would say the silliest things together.
that's what I'm thinking. That's you want to know what's going on in my brain? Shit like that.
Yeah, it was so funny. I miss her every day. I was actually just talking to her. I need to text her back. Sorry, Selma.
If you're listening, sorry.
But anyway,
Oh my God, I love that. But yeah, I was just thinking about how like t time isn't real and none of this is real really. And I wrote a Substack like I don't know back in September or something. What did it? I can't remember what I said specifically now, but I think I just it literally doesn't matter. That's what it was. It was like it
yeah,
literally doesn't matter. And that I got so much response back from that. So if you resonate with that, if you feel like you're sort of weighed down when these times of years come around when everybody's saying like they're or posting their like highlight reels and they're saying, set your intentions and whatever. Like, I'm doing all this too. I'm guilty of putting the pressure on y'all. But if you feel like weight from that, just like remember, like it literally doesn't matter.
yeah,
And like it's all like for you,
yeah.
you know? It's like how
Also,
can we have the most fun and fulfilling life possible? But like it literally doesn't matter.
no,
No big
also
deal.
it's in the title, right? It's a highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't show
Yeah, I'm
you.
not gonna show everybody clips of me crying. That would be so sad. Here's all the places I cried around the world,
I saw
literally
somebody on
everywhere.
TikTok actually made like a crying journal of all the times that she cries. But that's like an important thing to remember. Like it's literally a
Yeah,
highlight reel. Like this is
yeah,
all of the highlights of these people's year. And
yeah,
that doesn't show you like all of the missteps and failures and
right.
loss and whatever other
Yeah,
shit that they were going through.
yeah. A lot of the I posted like a part one, part two like recap of my year, and in the caption I share like I was like this looks picture perfect, but I share kind of like some of the tough stuff I was going through. But I think what I also was thinking about too is like it can be both. Like the first half of 2024 was so tough for me. I was really struggling with my mental health because I was really, really burnt out and I
Mm,
felt really lost. And I also had like incredibly magical, wonderful days during that time, even though
yeah.
the general like time period was really, really hard. And I like quite honestly was like depressed. I still had great days and I still did magical things and was like present for a lot of those. And
Yeah.
so I had highlights to show from that time period, even though there was about 4, maybe 5 months of that like I was like struggling, So
Yeah.
it can we all have like both happening simultaneously, I think, in
Yeah.
our lives a lot of the time.
A lot
And
of the
that
time.
was a little extreme for me this, you know, first half of the year, but like both can be true. We can have highlights and we can also be we're all, struggling with our own shit, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
silly goofies?
I do have silly goofies.
I have more like
So,
questions for us, but I want to hear your silly goofies.
actually, I really don't have a lot of silly goofies. I guess I thought
Okay.
I did. But, um, okay, so it was kind of brought to my attention that I didn't share like great things from Christmas on our Christmas episode. But honestly, when I like you're like on the spot, like random shit pops into my head.
Yeah.
But one thing that I did forget that was like classic thing that we always did, and I'm wondering if you did it too, especially like
Classic. It made me think it's a
classic.
classic part. Get in there. You know the
Yeah,
little
with a
kid.
kid, and he's like,
It's a classic part
what
in
was
that
it? Like
accent.
he
It's
was
like
like
door
doorman
holder
though.
number three. And he's like, so you're gonna be holding doors.
She's like
Yeah, and I'm gonna be
classic.
like, get in there. Every time I see that kid, I watch it all the way through. Sorry, it made me
So
think because
cute.
he's like classic. I was like, it's a classic.
Um, no, but we always did like, did you ever do this where you do like NORAD track Santa? growing up?
Oh, we didn't really, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, that was like a big thing. If you're unfamiliar, there's like NORAD, and they like set up this whole thing where it's like a Santa tracker, and you could be like, "Oh my God, look, he's in Switzerland now, he's in Italy," and it like shows you these like clips of like these like cities, and he's like, "Oh my God, now he's in the United States." And I have this like video of of my like little cousin. Well, he's not little anymore, but he's also like not tech. But you know those people that like you call your cousins that aren't really your cousins.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even
Well,
know
no,
how old he was.
no, I don't have anyone like that actually. I was like, yeah, no, I have absolutely no one in my life that I call a cousin that isn't.
You could call me
I
your
do,
cousin.
I do have like 100 cousins, but they're actually my cousins.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, wait, no, I don't have anyone
Yeah, your
like.
face was like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, there's not one person I can think of that I'm like, call my cousin. That's
But
you
he,
know, sorry,
yeah,
go on.
he must have been like 3 years old at the time. And he comes running into the room and he's like, guys, we have to go to bed right now because Santa is in Georgia. He was like, he's gonna be here soon. We gotta go. He's like,
We gotta
everybody's
go.
gotta go to bed right now. So funny. But yeah,
Oh,
so that
that's
was
so
one
cute.
thing. And then this is like really random, but it felt, I don't know, you know, when you like see something and then you just like get this feeling that like you have to share it. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah, all
Um,
the time.
yeah, I saw this video
Constantly.
of everything is a sign. Um, I saw this video of this like butterfly coming out of its cocoon. And if you're unfamiliar, when a butterfly comes out of its cocoon, it doesn't just like fly away. Like it needs to like hop on a little leaf and like
Hmm.
let its wings unfurl.
Hmm.
So the like message that I needed to share from this, apparently, maybe
Mm.
somebody needs this, is that like these butterflies have just gone through this major transformation, right? From caterpillar to butterfly, but they still need time to let their wings grow and like learn how to
Yeah.
use them. So if you're like, okay, I've just done all this work, I've just done all this growth, like, and I've gone through this massive transformation, like, why am I not like feeling like my highest,
Hmm.
best self? It's like maybe you just need a little bit more time to like understand how to
Yeah.
like operate here because you've just gone through such a massive change. That makes
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah. I was actually just thinking about how today, because I was writing a post, the part two of my like year recap of like how I like turned it all around, and I was just sharing like I was like, I know this isn't the sexy answer you want, some big dramatic thing that you do once and everything's fixed and whatever, but I was like I was like it's not sexy, but it's the truth. Like I double down on all of those little daily things that I do for my
Yeah.
mindset specifically. Um, and it was like tapping, meditation, journaling slash like scripting. And I think like it when you're doing it on a daily basis, you almost feel nothing. Like, yeah, like I'll feel
Yeah.
like more grounded or I'll just feel more like present. Like that's a great benefit. But I think what's useful, to have these markers in time like New Year's and stuff and take some time for reflection is to actually recognize like how different one you feel and
Yeah.
then two like life actually is, even if it doesn't like seem like on the like on paper super different, but just like the way you're moving through the world, the way you're reacting to external stuff, like whatever, and like recognize that because that's, I mean, we talked about that last week with like the Cap Daddy stuff. It's like the practical day-to-day stuff, those little things we're doing, it adds
Yeah.
up so much. So if it's like making your coffee a spell every morning, like understanding that like being intentional and like starting your day that way, like that momentum adds up. And so recognize, think about when you first started doing that habit
Mm-hmm.
and think about now, right?
Yeah.
How your mornings feel different or whatever. If you've been tapping every day and you're like, I don't know, is this even working? Like really like actually like kind of like think about like where you were when you first started doing that and where you are now and
Yeah.
so on because yeah, like it takes
It's
time, but it
time.
also at the same time happens faster than you think. But you
Yes.
like when you're living it, you don't feel it. And we're constantly like raising the bar of like
Yeah.
where we're trying to go and there's no end point. So we need to like just like I think take these moments, New Year's, Astro New Year, our birthdays are beautiful times to just like really like go, okay, like how am I different? How is life different? And like it's not all gonna be great, but like celebrate
Yeah.
what is, you know?
Exactly. And also sometimes a year is like not a very long time. So
Yeah.
think about it from, even 2, 3, 5 years ago, how
Yeah.
different you are now from that point. And I think that
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
sorry, I have a candle lit and it has a little crystal in it, and my crystal just fell into the flame. I don't know how to get this out.
Please no accidents on air.
I don't know how to get it out.
Like with the tweezers or something, the pliers.
It's really hot. Okay, maybe this
Yeah,
is a
maybe
different, this is a
maybe
future thing. It just happened, so caught my attention. Anyway,
anyway,
um, um, what were we talking about?
recognizing how far
How
we've
far you've
come,
come. Yeah.
which ties into I have a couple questions for us for reflection. And I
Okay.
invite everybody that's listening to do this with
Sorry, I have
us.
a little bit of a cold. You hear
Me
me
too.
sniffling.
I got a cold, but thankfully I didn't get sniffled. I just had like it's so fucking dry in Wisconsin in the
Yeah,
winter, so my
like
chest
in
just
your
feels dry
chest.
and I kind of have like a cough, but no sniffly stuff. Sniffly stuff. Thank you. Knock on wood. Thank you. I meant
Thank
thank
you.
goodness. Thank you. Thank you, God. Okay, but okay, so my first question
Yes.
is what is something you're proud of in 2024? It could be a literal like thing you manifested or the way like your way of being or just like something you're proud of in 2024.
Probably just like launching my business. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't like popped off in the way
Yeah.
that like I would have loved it to, but I also went through a lot this year.
Yeah.
Um, like I literally launched my business and then a week and a half later, like I lost someone really, really
Yeah.
dear to me. And then, I just kind of throws things off a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and I realized that like I wanted to move. I don't know. There's been a lot of like change and things like that this year. So I'm trying to like I was thinking about that earlier where I was like, okay, just I have some grace for this, like my mental health and my physical health. Now I
hmm
finally have answers on physical health things, which I think will in turn also help mental health. But
Yeah, absolutely.
it's been a big year. But yeah, probably launching my business and um even just like small mind shift. What am I trying to say? Mindset
Mindset
shift.
shifts. Yeah.
Um, things like that, where like, I did, like I just said, well, like it didn't do what I wanted it to do this year, but like even just like last year, that would have like bummed me out really hard.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, I can kind of recognize, like I did it. Like I made not a lot, but I made however much I made this year.
hmm
And just from like my business and um like I gained however many followers I've gained and I've reached however many people that I've reached and
Yeah.
I just like started creating.
hmm
I guess it's more just like I just started and that is like something to be proud of.
Yeah. I think I'm going to tell you what I'm proud of you for, or what I see. What I
Yeah.
see. One, I think you've like maybe you haven't always felt this way, but overall, I think you've given yourself like, and I know you this year only, but I just feel like I want to recognize that I feel like you've had like patience and grace for yourself this year. Like not
Mm,
that you've never felt frustrated, but you've sort of like I've seen you and we've talked about struggling, but like you just like are like no, but like this is still my path, you know?
yeah.
And I think like yeah, like one the first year of your business, like that's year one. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so many years to come. And um I just feel like with like your business and then you figured out this health stuff recently and I feel like 2024 is like was like a foundation building year
Yeah.
and you have a lot of answers and you have a lot of clarity and you're probably seeking even deeper on those things but like I just feel like you have I don't know like yeah like I found like you have this like you had this like foundational year and now you get to build on it. That's what I see.
Yeah. Thank you. Very
Yeah.
nice. That was so nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
I'm proud of you,
know.
Pam.
I was thinking about that earlier where I was like, it'll be like almost a year now. Come, I think February we
Mm-hmm.
started, which is so
Yeah,
crazy.
I know.
So crazy that we've known each
Yeah.
other now.
It
Look at
feels like
us.
longer than that, but also I'm like, wow, like that time already passed, you know?
Yeah. What are you proud of yourself for this year?
Ooh, resilience and stubbornness.
Mm,
Like yeah, I just felt like I was like, I've already talked about this, but I was just so burnt out and like things just
yeah.
weren't working in like business and in my personal life. And I was like, I know I need to burn it all to the ground, but I did that like a year and a half ago. Like, why do I have to do it again? Like, what happened? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, and I was really angry. I was like just so pissed off about that, like,
Yeah.
to like God, the universe, whatever. I was just like, what the fuck, you know? Um, so I'm really proud that I was just like, okay, fine. It took me a while to like do it, but I just kind of like completely shut down my business, came home, learned a new skill, got back up, and
Yeah.
like did what I needed to do and just figured it the fuck out. And like I've never felt more like grounded and like clear and just fucking good. And that's not how I felt um last year around springtime, I just really started getting burnt out and I was just like, oh, I was really struggling.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I didn't know what was next. And it was like it was just frustrating. So yeah, I'm just like proud that I felt like this year my big lesson was like I got me.
Mm, yeah.
And like for a while I thought like, oh, like I'm shutting down my business. I'm just gonna go be a muggle now. Like it's done. I failed. And I was just like, no,
No,
that's not an
yeah.
option. Like, I'll get a muggle job to like support me while I
Yeah.
figure this out so I can still like go live and travel and stuff. But I was like, but that's not an option. Like, no. So I think this year just taught me like, no, like I'll always figure it out. Like, I get to keep living this life. I'm
Yeah.
good. I got
Oh
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I'm proud of being a stubborn motherfucker.
it's all that Capricorn.
Digging
I
my heels in.
yeah. I yeah, no, I definitely have been like very inspired by you. That's like something I could say that I'm proud of you for is like you just keep our you mm. You know that like TikTok where he's like, "Have you ever?"
Have you ever? And then he goes, no, 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 and you could do anything? Exactly. And I'm like, exactly.
Exactly. Um, you just like have kept like finding new avenues or like just expanding on like things that you have wanted to do or are wanting to try, and that's very cool and inspiring to me.
Thank you. Yeah. Just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep trying, keep going, keep trying new things, learning new things. Like, I think what's been huge this year was just learning sales, like from like
Yeah.
a salesperson perspective, and like um I was interested in it because I could do it remotely, but then I was like, oh, that's a skill that also helps me in business because
Yeah.
I was getting really frustrated because I was like, the clients I do work with, everything's amazing. They love it. They're obsessed. They keep coming back for more. They're having amazing results, but I'm not getting new clients. And now I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't know how to communicate like the things I do and the magic I
Yeah.
create and whatever. So now we're getting back into flow of like, oh, okay, I can now because you have to learn how to do both.
Yeah.
You can get amazing results, but if you don't know how to sell your services, like you can't help people. Like those people are missing out on the help you could have given them. And also, if you know how to sell but you don't know how to get results, then you're just wasting everybody's time. But anyways, yeah, I'm proud of that journey and just that was really all those habits I doubled down on, and I was just like, like show me the way, show me the answer. And when I was like, that's what you want me to do? I don't think like that. What? That doesn't seem very sexy. That doesn't seem very fun. That doesn't seem very me. But okay, I'm gonna listen. And I continued to
Yeah.
do that over and over again when I was like, I don't know, but okay. And I'm so grateful. And every piece of this journey that has changed a lot throughout the beginning of that, I'm like, oh yeah, I can clearly see exactly why I was there for that amount of time doing that specific thing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, a next question.
Okay.
What are you no longer tolerating or just like not bringing with you into 2025? It could be
Oh,
something of your own or something stuff other people do or whatever it is.
um, okay, wait, can I think about it for a second?
Mhm.
Do you have an answer?
Um, yeah, I think what I'm not going to tolerate anymore is this is this isn't from like current circumstance. I'm just saying this year I learned to recognize this more in people, and I'm just not going to tolerate like emotionally unavailable
That was kind of my response too.
people, men specifically. I am such an enthusiastic person. I am a very like loud about like my feelings and whatever. I wasn't always that way. Like I
This
had
is
to
brand new information.
I had to, I had to create that safety for myself like in my own body. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't always that way. I was very shy, very timid. Um but and specifically I was thinking about my past two relationships. This is so embarrassing. But in both of them, I had to be the one to be like, "So, are you my boyfriend?" Like after like it's obvious that they like are because we're spending almost every day together, whatever. But just the like, I'm like, I can't do that is so embarrassing to put up with that shit. And that I'm like, every other part of my life I've expanded so much. And I feel like I still just like let people like I want to be a li slightly less go with the flow in my dating
Yeah.
and just not tolerate that. Just be like, I need more directness, which is very masculine,
Yeah.
and not be like, so do you fucking love me or not?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, emotional communication, which have struggled with so much, but I can't like teach. I'm not going to teach anybody to do that.
Yeah.
In 2025, I will not be waiting for that or teaching that to others. I will be making sure that that's what's already happening. I was
Okay,
like,
fair. I um I was thinking something similar, but like on a friendship level.
mm,
Um, I feel like I've had a lot of like very half-assed friendships where it's been, very like 70-30.
yeah,
And I think I'm just like I don't like I'm not here for that. Like I'm here. Listen, I know things sometimes you need
Yeah.
more, and then sometimes I need more, and
Yeah.
whatever shit happens. Sometimes you're busy, sometimes I'm busy. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean at all. I mean, like, if I stop texting you and then I just never hear from you again, like that's kind of what I mean. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
kind of like not really here for those kinds of friendships
Yeah. Not
anymore.
available for it.
Not
Yeah.
available for it. And then also I'm not really like sure how to phrase this, but I would love to at least begin to leave behind. This is not like the way that I want to phrase this because I like questioning everything.
Mm.
Because I question everything. Like I literally just
Mm.
Googled like when gum was invented 2 days ago. It's like when and why was gum invented?
Um,
It's
could you
still in
give
my
us a
tab. Don't at
summary?
me. Let me get it.
Could you
'Cause
get
I
really
Googled it
quick?
on the plane.
Like, well, now that you brought it up,
Let me find it. When and why?
when and why? I like the why. Why?
Why? Um, dates back thousands of years, with the earliest evidence of gum being 9,000 years old. The first patient, oh, patent, not patient. Sorry, I'm also dyslexic. The first patent for chewing gum was issued in 1869 to William F. Semple, a dentist from Ohio. Um, and then, according to Wikipedia, um, Native Americans chewed resin made from sap of spruce trees, and it helped like clean their teeth. And I think there was something
Mm.
good about gum health in here. It's farther down in the Wikipedia page, but you know what I mean? So I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say, but like I guess be more like go with the flow.
Mm.
I do like
Mm.
having to question everything, but I question everything. Do you know what I mean?
Like you see someone chewing gum and you're like, why are they chewing
Why?
that?
Like I don't know. Yeah, I think just like I would love to like be more go with the flow.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and like adventurous. I don't think I'm like
Mm.
unadventurous, but I'm not self-adventurous. Like I need to be prompted. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean, but I'm not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but I also wasn't always this way too. And
Yes, give
this
me your
was
elder
years
wisdom.
ago. This was like years ago, but I feel like I saw someone else, this is me all the time. Like I don't know who to credit, but I heard this from somebody else. Just putting it out there. I don't something brilliant things I say are mine, but mostly I hear things and I don't know where they came from. Um, but to just like especially when you just have like the day off, time off, you've got time, whatever, to question to but no, but to ask yourself like, wait, what would be really fun today or really interesting
Yeah.
or like whatever. Or like just like what do I need right now? Like a good example is like literally today. So we're recording on New Year's Eve
Hmm.
is the day we're recording. And there was talk of my family like going out to dinner and whatever. And then I went upstairs and asked, and it was like, oh, like everyone's got a cold, whatever. We're not doing anything. And so my first instinct was to feel a little deflated, like, oh, I'm doing absolutely nothing. And then I was like, wait, like what would be so fun that I would like look forward to later? And I was like, I think if I like went to the store, got all my favorite like junk food snacks, put on like feel good movies, and started working on my vision board, maybe like painted a little like vision board like manifesting type inspired like that would make today really fun. Like,
Hmm.
and I think this is especially helpful when you are feeling a little like down or like, oh, I don't have anything to do or whatever. But I feel like this kind of mindset has made me more adventurous, where like, especially when I'm in a new city, I don't have a tour booked, I don't have anything planned, and I'm like, what would what would be fun today? And usually the answer is
Yeah.
just like wandering around, but I'm like, what neighborhood would be fun to like take an Uber to and like just like wander around, whatever. Or yeah, I tried if I'm like, oh, I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately, like tonight, what would be like
I'll
something that would
switch
be
to
real
Hulu. Yeah.
entertaining? And I'm like, oh, like I haven't painted in a while. I'm gonna like get like, but it's
Yeah.
always like get some. I'm like, I'm gonna get like um some wine and I'm gonna whatever put this feel good movie on that I haven't watched in a while, but it's one of my favorites, and I'm gonna paint or like just to like make things different, exciting. So you're not like constantly hypnotized by the same loop. And I feel like that, like even those little things can be make life more like adventurous, you know?
Hmm.
Go to the craft store with no plan and just see what calls your name.
Yeah.
That used to be my favorite thing I would do every week, literally. Anytime I live somewhere, I'm the what's the not the local, the regular at the local
Yeah.
Michaels. They're like, "Oh, Sadie's back. It's Friday, it's Saturday. She's here to wander around and see what kind of craft calls to her today."
Yeah.
But like that. But just like asking yourself, like, okay, well, like what would be like fun or interesting or different? Like got
Yeah.
time to kill.
Yeah.
See
Love
what
that.
see what calls to you. I feel like that's how I became more adventurous.
Yeah. I think I'm very like uninspired in exploring Nashville at this point. So I think that's
Yeah.
like part of my problem. Um, so I need to just like reignite that here before I move.
Yeah. Yeah, get into like tourist mindset in your own town a little bit.
Yeah. Although if you Google what to do in Nashville,
Says drink.
everything is drinking. And there, you'll even Google like what do you do like as a sober person in Nashville? And they're like, go to Printer's Alley. Do you know what's on Printer's Alley?
Bars.
All bars. That's the only thing.
That was just a guess. I don't know.
It's the only thing on Printer's Alley.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, but yeah, honestly, I was thinking about going to, I'm a big, like, I love the Science Museum. Anywhere I go, I love going to
Mm,
the Science Museum.
me too.
So I was thinking about doing that. I'm trying to find more like, there's not a ton of like free things to
Hmm.
do here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find things like that. But yeah, yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I mean, that all makes sense. I yeah,
okay, one more question.
okay.
What's your word of the year?
Lean in.
I saw it on my stories, but for
Yeah.
everybody else.
Still lean in. I know we
Lean
talked about this a
in.
little bit ago. I know that's also
Yeah.
two words technically.
Yeah.
Um, but and I know that there's another one. I just haven't quite found it yet, but I can feel it. It's like floating around.
Hmm.
I just haven't like sat down to meditate at all. It's
Hmm.
really hard for me to like it's hard for me to meditate anyway, but it's really hard for me to meditate when I have a cold.
Yeah.
Um
What does
so
lean in mean to you? Like, how are you gonna like live that this year?
just like just lean in. Just you fold in the cheese. Did you watch Schitt's Creek?
That's so funny because on like Christmas Eve, oh, what was it? Um, my stepsister was preparing to like make something, and my stepmom asked like, well, how do you whatever, and she literally sounded like, you just whatever it was, I can't remember the specific answer, and I started laughing so hard. I was like, wait, have you guys watched Schitt's Creek? And you're like, you just fold it
Fold it
in,
in.
fold in the cheese. I don't know how to be any clearer, David.
I
You fold
cannot do
in the
everything
cheese.
for you.
She was saying like she was like saying like something I think it was like just like about rolling out the cookie dough or something.
Yeah.
Like she was like, okay, and you know that you need to roll out the cookie dough, and she's like, what do you mean roll out the cookie dough? And she was like, I don't know how to
Roll out the cookie dough.
roll it out. I
So
can't do anything
funny.
for everything for you. Uh, that's
You
so
here's
funny.
what you do. You just
Here's
it's
what
like if
okay.
you say fold it in one more time.
That's one of my favorite
So
scenes.
good. But really lean in to me is a little more just like just leaning into what I need at the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like leaning in to rest if my body needs rest, leaning in to like adventure if I'm feeling bored,
Hmm.
leaning whatever. You know what I mean? You get kind of get
Yeah.
the point. Things like that, just kind of, and like leaning into like feelings that I'm having,
Mm.
leaning into like experiences and things like that. I also, one of my goals, I was gonna say this, but I forgot this was supposed to be one of my silly goofies. Um, this is a very serious goal I have for New Year's, for the
Hmm.
new year, is to have less than 10 tabs open on my phone at all times. Do you have a
Oh,
lot of tabs
I have
open?
like 100.
Mine is currently at 80.
Yeah. Wait,
Um,
let me look at mine. I did clear it out.
also cleared it out
Feel
recently.
like
I was at like
recently.
125.
Oh, I only have 19. I was like, it was literally a
Very
couple days
nice.
ago.
Yeah. But yeah, what's your word for 2025?
Okay. My word is outrageous.
Outrageous.
I want to be outrageously weird and hot and funny and impactful. And I just want to be outrageous this year. I want to just
Like
be
more than
outrageous.
normal.
Yes. At least 3 times bigger than that.
I don't even remember why it came up. I think I was at work on Saturday and I can't even remember what it was. I think Alex said something, the security guard that works always at the door that I work at. And um I was like, oh my God. And showed him that I was like, I was like, that made me think of, I just sent this video to my friend Sadie and and I showed him the one of the Taylor Tomlinson one that I sent you that was like,
That's so funny because literally the night before I was at dinner with Haley and she was like dead serious and she was like, I do really worry about and
yeah.
watching your stories.
And I was like, she gets into the car with people and like in Mexico, like in a foreign country. And he was like, I don't even do that in Nashville.
I don't think I would do it in America.
He's an
These
army veteran.
aren't
Like he is like a trained
these are
army
people that this
veteran.
is
And
like the
he's like, I
third time
wouldn't
I've
do
hung
that
out with them.
anywhere.
It's not like I meet people and immediately get in their car. That's never
Except for
been
that
the
one time that you did.
which time?
That one time where you met people out. This was after the creepy guy followed you.
Oh,
Uh
that time I did.
yeah.
That but they
Yeah.
were going closer to my house. Okay, that time I did, but it was because all day that day I had walked far from home, but I knew at nighttime I needed to take a cab, and I had a bad feeling about the cabs by myself because I was with people before and now I was alone in Puerto. And I had a bad feeling about taking a cab by myself because it's not Uber there. It's you
Yeah.
flag someone down, you pay them cash. And I had a bad feeling about it. And then I felt like I met this great group of people. It wasn't just like me and like a single person
One
either. It was like a
person.
group of people in the car. And yeah, to be fair, I am explaining that away. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I felt like in that instance, I was relieved that I didn't have to take a cab by myself home
Have
because
you
I was
ever
like
seen the movie
really freaked
Taken?
out about that. Yes. Yes, I have.
I think you should watch that again before you leave. Maybe we'll watch it here. And I'll be like,
Are you lo-
are you watching?
are you watching this
And I'll
part?
quiz you on it afterwards.
I know. And then Pam would come be my Liam Neeson and find me.
Yeah.
But okay, well, good news is that I don't think I will be alone for much of my travels in the foreseeable future. I am going to Colombia by myself, but I think I will know people that are there. Well, I will for sure. Um, the first week I'm there, know people, and maybe after that as well. So I'll be like alone in my Airbnb, but I'll be like hanging out with people. And then after that, I plan to meet up with people and travel in a group. So you can be relieved for at least 1 to 3 months, probably.
Perfect.
But you're right. I do need to be more careful. My word of the year, caution.
Cautiously
No,
outrageous.
outrageously cautious.
No.
Cautiously outrageous.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But outrageous is my word. I just want to be even weirder and more in love with the whole world and expressive and impactful and helpful and fun and silly.
Love that.
Just want to turn up the dial all the way. I feel like we're pretty good, but we're only like halfway there.
Yeah, that's good.
My word is outrageous.
I think one of at least maybe I'll do three words because I do
That is what I usually do for the year ahead scripting that I do every year
is three.
is yeah, like three theme words. And then I pick a theme word for the months too when we come back and do the monthly scripting every month. So it's like I come back and I add more into it, but I think my overall theme for this year is going to be just
Outrageous.
outrageous.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Like my overarching will be lean in, and then like each month maybe I'll have
What
a
are you
different
like
thing to like lean
leaning
in.
more into?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like
I
that.
think I like a subheader will be like adventurous
Yeah.
or like adventure, whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know. Is it
I
verb
like
or
it. I think it could just be adventure.
yeah.
Lean in,
Um,
adventure, mine's
yeah.
outrageous and
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah, I do like
Safe.
I'm so like I'm in such a weird place where I'm so over being in Nashville. I don't like it here. I'm so like unhappy and uncomfortable here.
Yeah.
And I'm so close to moving, so I feel like I'm in this like really weird in between space. So I think for January, February, a big goal will be have to be like leaning in to what I need in that time to like make the
Yeah.
next 2 months bearable because I've been just like hermiting really hard.
Yeah. I think too, like, I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm saying from my personal
You're like,
experience.
listen up. um,
No, because I've always been a runner, meaning
yeah,
I run to the next place and expect it to make me happy, which it does temporarily. Because I like when I like that's I moved to California because I was like, I'll be happier if I just like move to California.
mhm,
And then I left Santa Barbara to go to LA because I was like, I'll be happier if I just go to LA. And then when I started traveling full time, I was like, yeah, this will make me happy. Um, and it didn't. I was like, wow, I can still be miserable a lot of the time
dancing through
while
life.
while while living out my wildest dreams, literally. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, like just because you are like you did manifest your some of your biggest dreams and you're living them and like a lot of life is magical, like underneath the surface, I was still like struggling with a lot of misery. Um which I've shared before. Like it took me a while to like adjust to. So I would say along with that, like lean into like being where you are. And like you said before, like just like trying to be like a tourist your own town as much as you
yeah,
can and just like making the best of it, the most of it. Because anyone that might be listening that does that, the next job will I'll be happier, the next
yeah,
whatever, whatever, whatever. Oh, I do that. I did that
yeah,
for a long time. And I still have a tendency,
yeah.
like, oh, I'm not
Although
happy, I'll just move. I'll just change the
I'll just
location.
move. Yeah, I do very strongly feel that being close to the ocean will
Oh
fix
yeah.
everything for me.
It'll certainly help.
Yeah, but I know
Yeah.
there's underlying other things too, but
Yeah.
mainly the ocean thing.
Mainly the ocean. The ocean does make everything better.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Shall we?
should we? Yeah, because I don't know how long we've been here for. Our last episode
Um,
was so long,
a little, was it really? How long was it?
like an hour 40.
I think we've been here just under an hour.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, we thought it'd be fun to talk about vision boards
Yes.
today and like tied into that, like setting intentions and manifestation, but sort of focused around the idea of a vision board because it's a very popular concept this time of year. I think
Yes.
it's a super fun way to manifest. There are definitely things you can do, ways you can approach a vision board to make it more effective,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, I mean, how do you wanna I have notes. I have a
Yes.
million things I could say about vision boards and object
Yeah.
manifestation, all the things, but how do you want to start?
Well, I figured that you would have a lot to say because this is like very up your alley.
Hmm.
And I also figured that most of what I want to say, you'll probably say too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to start, but I did look at like psychologically why they
Hmm.
help.
That's what I like to like talk about, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you give me what you got, and I'll add to it.
Okay. Because I just have like a very brief part of it. So
Okay.
they help because one, they build confidence by encouraging self expression and helping to identify meaningful like goals and values. They help your
Mm-hmm.
confidence in actually like executing necessary actions to
Mm.
achieve your goals. They improve your intention setting by getting specific and clear on what your intentions actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And they help to rewire your brain because with the visual like stimuli, it primes your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors like related to your goals, values, and motivations.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quick. I just have a very, very small thing about it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So so vision boards, like these are especially effective if you're a visual person, but they're effective for everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you make a vision boards are kind of set it and forget it vibes. You want to put it somewhere where you'll see it often, but you don't need to like stare at it every day.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a very subconscious way of manifesting. So my favorite thing to do, especially since I travel now, is just have it as the background of my computer
Mm,
and sometimes my phone. Sometimes I get tired of it. I just want like a cutesy background. Also, it's personal, so
yeah.
sometimes I'll have like a different version for my phone that like people could potentially see than like my computer. But I also love like if you have the materials, if you're crafty, you like this kind of thing, to like get a poster board and like
Yeah.
get images. You can print stuff off of Pinterest, you can collect magazines, whatever you want to do, make like an old school type vision board. But then you just want to make sure it's not tucked away somewhere. It's somewhere you're going to see it often. So it could be, I know sometimes they're not like they don't always go with the aesthetic of a home or whatever, but you could put it out like on the inside of your closet door if it's one that swings
Yeah.
open. So whenever you open your closet door, you see it. Or, um, like you could, I mean, you might need to like laminate it or something, but you could put it on like the back wall of like your shower so that when you're showering, like washing your hair or whatever, like you're seeing it there. Or just, I mean, li like, literally anywhere, but you're gonna like come across it often just naturally. Like it's
Yeah.
just there, it's around inside of a cupboard door. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Where you like
Um,
keep your coffee.
yeah, but you do want to it just to be flashing in front of your eyes over and over again,
Yeah.
where you don't have to sit down and be like, let me like look at my vision board today. Today's vision board. No, that's not the vibe. You
Yeah.
want it to
Today
just
is vision board day.
let me go sit and stare at it, which you can do that too and
Yeah.
like visualize and meditate, but that's not really the point of vision board. You want it subconsciously filling your brain over and over and over and over.
Yes.
So the the way this works is our subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, and it processes like imagery in a way. So our brain speaks the language. There's two main ways our subconscious communicates most effectively, and that is through image or like symbolism and through feeling.
Mm,
So when you're making your vision board, it's like it doesn't even have to be so much about the specific things you're manifesting, but that like those images evoke a feeling in you that resonate with what it is you're manifesting. Like, yeah, if you're manifesting like a Range Rover, for instance, put the Range Rover on your vision board for sure. But also like how's the vision or how's that Range Rover gonna make you feel? Is there
yeah.
imagery kind of around that like you cut out the car but you put it on the back of like a I don't know, a beach background, or you're making it seem like inspiring, like you want it to evoke emotion as well as like the symbolic Im literal imagery itself.
Yes.
But how this works, this is my favorite thing to talk about in the whole world. I think I talked about it recently when we were talking about like signs, and it's our brain's reticular activating system. Did I talk
Yeah.
about this recently? Yeah.
But you didn't explain it.
Okay. So it's the RAS, reticular activating system, and this is huge for manifestation. So the RAS is the our brain's filter. So our subconscious takes in absolutely 100% of everything in our surroundings. Absolutely everything. The RAS is the filter it goes through, and that decides what our conscious mind sees, recognizes. Yes.
If you have ADHD, do you have like an underactive RAS system?
That's a really good question. Maybe.
Because that's like what that is. Like, it's not, they call it ADHD hype like attention deficit, but it's not a deficit. It's an over
Yeah. It might be connected
consumption.
to the RAS. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, please
So,
continue.
so a great example of this, okay, is like let's say you decide like, oh, I want a Range Rover. I don't know. That's just a random example. I'm going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
You put that on your vision board and you start seeing Range Rovers everywhere, right? It's not that there's suddenly more Range Rovers on the road. It's that you've let your RAS know that Range Rovers are important. And so now, whenever they're in your field, your conscious mind is getting the alert that there's a Range Rover because you've told yourself it's important. So this is the way like signs can work too, right? Like we've told our RAS, like our reticular activating system, oh, when I'm worried and I need peace of mind, I see 222. Oh, our RAS is
Yeah.
going to go 222. Go look. See? It doesn't make it less magical to understand this either, by the way. It's incredibly powerful and magical that our brains can do this.
Yeah. No,
But
science
this
is magic,
is
and magic is science.
exactly one and the same. But this is how a vision board works is that it activates our RAS. It alerts us that these things are important to us. Now, it's not only that it's going to point it out and say, oh, look, Range Rover, Range Rover, Range Rover, Range Rover, right? But also, our subconscious is a problem solver and it's very loyal to us. So if we say, like, this is real, I want this, like, we're gonna get this, our subconscious is like, cool, bet we're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
And so you're also activating your subconscious to like figure out how this is going to come into your reality because our subconscious, there can't be like um there can't be a disagreement between what our subconscious believes and what is our reality. So this is why like mindset work is so incredibly powerful because it's like literally not possible. Like our brain
Yeah.
cannot believe something and like see the opposite. That's what denial is, right? Like denial is a river.
In Egypt.
Remember that. I said phrase. I don't know. I was like the audio. Um, but this is also we see that vision board regularly, regularly, regularly. We start normalizing that in our brain. Our brain's like, oh, that's real. And then our brain is like, our reticular activating system is like, oh, that's important. We need more of that in our life, or we need that closer to us in our life. And the problem solving starts to begin too. And so
Yeah.
we start to subconsciously figure out how to bring this into our life, recognizing the signs, opening up our intuition to get the thing. So maybe something like a little less like literal, like, yeah, like the Range Rover. We might start problem solving, I don't know, like how we're gonna budget this in. Our intuition opens up to connect with so and so person who's got a hookup at the Range Rover. I don't fucking know, whatever.
Yeah.
Things can happen very magically, right? We manifest a sugar daddy and he buys us a Range Rover.
Yeah.
Great. But also
Perfect.
too, let's say like you're manifesting a partner, like romance in your life. You're manifesting a romantic partner, or you're manifesting more close like friendships in your life, and you put that on your vision board. It's like a circle of women dancing around a fire or something, or it's a silhouette of a couple and like rings or something, right?
Yeah.
Like you're manifesting these things that's also going to open up your intuition and your RAS and all the things to recognize like the traits in a person, right? Or like help you like normalize, oh yeah, my forever person. Okay, like that's starting to feel safer in my body. I'm starting to see and recognize more clearly clear yeses and nos when I'm out there dating people because I've told myself it's important to find the forever person because I see those rings every day or whatever, right? Like whatever it is. And so it's all with this reticular activating system that's filtering through the world
Yeah.
that we start to notice the opportunities, notice the signs, notice the paths, the answers, the next steps to get where we want to go. It's really cool.
It is
I
very
love
cool.
our
I think
brains.
that's also why on I don't know if it's the RAS or if this is just a different part of the subconscious brain, but putting something on your vision board that you've already
That was the
manifested, that
next
you
thing I was gonna
already
say.
have.
Yeah.
um, because then your brain is like, oh, this is a real thing. This
Yep.
is tangible.
Yeah. So like let's say you are let's say you're already married, so you've manifested your dream partner. You could put a picture of you two on your vision board, but now you're manifesting your dream
Third.
house and you're
No,
you're
just kidding.
manifesting you say bird?
No, you're third.
Your your unicorn. You could you
Just
could
kidding,
you could
everybody.
put whatever symbolizes represents your dream job or your increase in income or your Range Rover, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, right?
Your baby, whatever you
Um
want. Yeah.
yeah, but put the picture of you and your spouse on there and that also helps your brain go, oh yeah, that's me. So this must all be me too. It like puts it it's like
Yeah.
it puts it in context to say, yeah, this is your life. See?
Yes.
There you are right there.
Yeah.
So I always put a picture of like me from one of my like bucket list travel locations from the past like year or two onto my vision board because that was like one of my biggest dreams forever. And then I put all the like the locations I'm manifesting for this year and the other things I want on there
Yeah. I was
around
gonna
that.
say that too, like put a picture of yourself. Like if your thing, even if you don't have it, like if your thing
Hmm.
is about traveling, put a picture on a plane and cut a little picture of
That
you out and put it in the
I
airplane
I
window.
love editing and like photoshopping stuff like that. I think that's really powerful too.
Yeah.
Um like one thing you can do, yeah, like you can edit yourself into things. Like use like background remove. Canva has background remover. I'm sure you
Yeah.
can do on other stuff to put yourself in your dream home or on the airplane or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll edit like I'll take a screenshot of my like Instagram and I'll like edit the follower count on it or you could do it with your bank account even.
Yeah.
Um, edit new numbers in there or your investment account or whatever. Yeah, it's super fun too to just like something that like, oh, like I look at my banking app regularly, so I know what that looks like. That's familiar to me. So if I put that on my vision board with the new numbers, right, then it's like, oh yeah, that's normal. And my brain starts going, how do we make that a reality? How do we make that happen?
Yeah.
It's gonna problem solve. That's how it works. So
Yeah.
it's very fun and very cool. And there's so many ways you can do vision boards too.
Yeah. Really quick before I forget, because to circle back to what you said earlier,
Hmm.
if you're not visual, I
Hmm.
think I remember hearing like Manifestation Babe talk about this.
Hmm.
But if you're not visual, like literally have somebody send you a voice note or you make your own voice note of being like, wow, you did this. I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 blah. And like you can
Hmm.
listen to that over and over
Yeah.
again if you're more like of a listener instead of a visual person. Or
Yeah.
um I don't know, like you can add, she forget, she said something else too about like movement. If you like do better like through like movement and like actually
Hmm.
doing things like things like that. But yeah, that's, I wanted to say that before I forgot.
Yeah. That is
Um
that is So I feel like I've heard Catherine talk about it too, but Gala Darling always talks about her magical morning practice.
Oh,
We
well,
should
she
we should
walks.
start we
But that
should
girl walks 7 miles every day.
no
And
no
I'm
no,
like,
it's
I don't
not
think I have that in me.
that's not what I'm talking about. She voice no, it's the voice recording thing.
Oh, okay.
Those are her miracle
Like, I don't think I
miles.
have that in
Those are
me.
her miracle miles, I think. No, her magical morning practice is and she says to, like if you have somebody to like buddy up with a friend to do this,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like scripting. But to like you can just voice record or you could like if me and Pam are gonna be manifesting buddies for this, right? Like I would send her like a voice note. You could do it morning or night, whatever. But and I would be like, "Oh, Pam, today I signed a new client and I got to I don't know travel here today and what like whatever. Basically, you're speaking your like day into existence, but you're saying
Mm, yes.
it as though it's already done. And then if you're doing it with a friend, then they respond back like let's say I was like, Pam, I signed the papers on my new house, right? And then she'd respond back and be like, I can't wait to come to the housewarming party. Like, what should I
Yeah.
bring? Whatever. And you kind of like talk like it's real, but you can just like do voice notes to yourself too.
Yeah. I used to
Um,
go on walks with friends and do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or yeah, like the scripting we do. I actually did this, I think I did this last year. It was when I was in Bali. We would do our monthly scripting in Alchemy Collective. Now we do it in the Hot Witch Scripting Club. But we would do our monthly scripting, and then I would record my letter to myself portion, and I would listen to it like 3 times a day. And it was
Hmm.
like a 2 minute recording. But that was cool too, where I was just like telling myself over and over like the month ahead. Um, so yeah, if you're more of a auditory learner then you might benefit from that. But vision boards are still fun and still effective because
Yes.
again,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's 222 on the clock right now. Because
What?
it's not about like
Listen up, folks.
listen up. Remember how I said 222 earlier
I
as an
know.
example? Remember that? Apparently, it's a sign. Apparently, you've never been on live TV before. I don't know, anyways.
What's he up to
Um,
these days?
I would love to know.
I'll
Pam gets
Google
her
it.
phone and starts looking. Apparently, kid.
I gotta question everything I told.
Um, but it's really essentially at the end of the day, there's all these ways that we can rewire our subconscious mind to believe that these things are possible for us, that they're already ours, and that in turn alerts our RAS that it's important, excuse me, and we start it like motivates action. It like it starts to and it's not even like conscious all the time. I feel like a lot of it continues to be subconscious where you're like you sort of don't have to be super what's the word? Like you don't even have to be super like disciplined on yourself about like making something happen because when you start like you're seeing it regularly like your subconscious is working and you just sort of it's like oh this is like my life this is normal and you
Yeah.
sort of like yeah in the beginning to build up some momentum you might have to be a little bit more intentional about working towards a goal but it starts to become very like natural
Yeah.
and like not effortless but like habitual almost.
Yes.
Vision boards help with that a lot too
Yeah.
where it sort of just becomes like yeah like normalized like oh yeah this is something I do this is something I work towards this is something I take action on and you don't have to be so intensely like oh I have to force myself to do this
Yeah.
to get there because it's just like a matter of fact to your subconscious like yeah we're gonna have this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry. I
What's
got
going on
really
with apparently
distracted
kid?
with the apparently kid. There's not much on him, to be honest. I don't really think he's up to anything crazy these days. Sorry, I got really distracted by it.
It's okay I was like I can keep going no worries.
Um, yeah. I can't remember what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say something about how a habit takes like 21 days, and that's literally less than a month.
Yeah. I also was thinking I did the math today actually on this.
Okay.
So if you spend 20 minutes a day on your like habits that like your mindset habits. For me, that's tapping, meditation, and journaling, which admittedly I spend more than 20 minutes a day because I have time.
Yeah.
But let's say you spent 5 minutes tapping, 5 minutes meditating, and 10 minutes journaling a day, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That is only 2% of your day.
In
Like
like a
you have time for
24-hour
that.
period.
Yeah, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. And if you spend 20 of them on your daily habits, 20 minutes, I just feel like I am often convinced that I used to be really stuck in time scarcity even though it wasn't true. And I
Yeah.
know we all go through cycles and I'm not invalidating that people have children or are working full time, incredibly busy, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, right? I was just thinking about this today where I was like, I wonder what percent of the day is if you spend 20 minutes on your daily habits. Because I was just,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking of this, and a vision board doesn't take any of your time after you make it. But speaking of rewiring our subconscious mind, getting our mindset there, believing in ourselves, we're talking about building habits, right? I was like, that's literally 2% of our day. That's nothing.
Yeah.
I
Also,
just,
you don't have to, like Sadie just listed four things. Like if you only have it in you right now to spend 20 minutes doing one thing,
yeah,
or even
three.
5 minutes doing one thing.
I listed three things.
Oh, I thought you said 5 minutes on for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
5 minutes
15.
tapping, 5 minutes meditating, 10 minutes journaling.
That's 15 minutes.
I said 10 minutes journaling.
10 minutes, Shirley. Oh, whatever. Anyway, sorry.
I take longer writing, but you could do it for 5 minutes too.
You said five, so I was in multiples of
Oh,
five.
I thought, oh yeah. No, I said 10.
Yeah.
Five, five, and 10. For example, you could do less,
As
but
you
I'm
can
saying
tell, I am not an auditory learner.
I am also not. When you give me auditory instructions, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Anyway, you don't have to like be like, okay, I'm gonna start all these habits right now. Choose one if that feels good to you. I mean, you
Yeah.
could go for it and do all of the other habits, but
Well, if
if
you're
you're
only
like,
doing 5 minutes, my point being, I can err on the side of making a lot of excuses for myself about how busy I am, and
yeah,
it's kind of bullshit because you can change your life in 20 minutes a day.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say. Because like I said in the beginning, it's those little things that you do consistently every day, our subconscious mind, because you said habit builds in 21 days. I was like,
yes,
yeah, exactly. And if you just do 20 minutes, whatever habits you want to stick to, those are just the three that I've done for 5 years, and my life is very, very different.
yeah,
So I'm gonna just think, dig my heels in and say do these three. But there's different ones. Breath work is amazing. I kind of like
yeah,
I do that with my meditation most days. Um, but I do think tapping and meditation are like insane and everybody should be doing them. But yeah, my point just being like
sorry, I
don't
started
underestimate
disassociating.
don't underestimate like spending 2% of your day, 20
Yeah.
minutes, like
How much
doing
is
these
that of
things.
like your waking hours though?
20 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know it's in 24 hours, Pam. It's 2% of 24 hours. It's still nothing. Are you arguing with me that it's a lot?
No, I just wanted to know because like yes, you have 24 hours, but you're sleeping for at least 8 of them.
At least, at least 8. I don't think most people are at least.
Well, you're supposed to be sleeping for 8.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this new moon, did you get any insomnia? Because I have not slept the past 2 nights and I don't have insomnia anymore.
Um,
And I can only reason that it's the new moon. I don't know what else it
I
is.
usually don't sleep on full moons.
Me too.
The new moon, this new moon, I was waking up a lot. And I had very vivid dreams. like movies.
Oh my God, do you want, can I tell you a crazy dream I had?
Yes, sorry, I'm paying attention. I just grounded for a second while you were talking before because I felt myself floating away.
I had a dream that I got in a physical fight with Kylie Jenner. I don't know what we
Honestly,
were fighting about,
fair.
but I punched her in the face, full
I
on, and
feel
I woke
good.
up and I felt so guilty.
Oh,
I was like,
sorry, I
I'm
went
not
in a different
I
direction.
was like, I'm not a physical fighter. Like, what? Like I was like angry and I was like pummeling her. I don't know where this violence came from in my dreams. I
Do you think
like
it's
felt
like angry at
I
like,
felt like really guilty the rest of the day. I was like worried about the violence in my dreams because I was really
sorry,
feeling it. I was
that's
feeling
so
like
funny.
violence.
You go, I felt really guilty, and at the same time, I was like, did it
You're like,
feel
did it
really
feel
good?
good?
um, you know,
I don't know, but
do you think
I
it was
like
like a anger at like society?
something. Maybe.
Because
I
they
don't
are like
know.
peak success, you know what I
The
mean?
billionaires of the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
And like just everything that they do and represent and
I don't think so. I think it was something more
promote.
personal, maybe. I don't think Kylie, I think like I tend to like I don't know what I'm angry about, but I know that I bottle it up and I don't allow myself to feel anger. I've struggled with that. Like when I went through all the cheating stuff in one of my past one of we all know which relationship that was. I'm like, what am I? Um, I like I was angry, obviously,
Yeah.
and sad, but I like really struggle. I bottle stuff up.
Yes, we
Um,
talked about that.
yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm angry about because it was definitely anger I was experiencing.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm angry at. I don't feel like I have an obvious. Maybe I'm angry at myself. It's definitely not you. Is it me? But I feel like I expressed it and I got it out of my system, whatever it was. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be a societal thing, but I don't feel like I've been consumed. Well, maybe. I actually I have been kind of angry about Trump getting reelected. Maybe it was that. But then I would have much rather had a dream pummeling him.
Yeah.
That I would have felt good. I mean, I feel sort of indifferent about Kylie Jenner. I don't follow her. I haven't seen pictures, anything about her recently. It was
That's
so
so
random
funny.
that it was her specifically. And it felt really
Which
personal
one is
to me.
she?
She's the lip kit one,
Oh, okay.
the makeup.
The other one used to walk for Michael Kors when I worked there. And I
Oh,
did not.
yeah. Kylie was like the youngest billionaire or
Got
something,
it.
I think. Just crazy to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
I remember learning like a million seconds is like a couple days, and a billion seconds is like 30 some years. And I was like, oh, $1 billion is a
A
lot.
lot of dollars. It's a
What
lot of
the
dollars.
fuck? Like that really puts it in perspective for you. I was like, oh yeah, no one needs $1 billion.
No.
Um, but what I
That
did
you're not
learn,
like doing anything with. Like help people.
that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, I learned that Dolly Parton,
Yes.
she would be a billionaire, but
No,
she
but she
like
gives
gives it
so
all
much.
away.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I would love to be. Is like, I think we talked about this before too. Where like, I was like, I would love to be like air quotes billionaire, where I was like creating that kind of like income, but then I was just like buying books for all of the children and feeding all of them and
Yeah.
helping all of the women start businesses and developing countries and doing all of the things, you know?
Yeah.
That's I would like to be that kind of quote billionaire.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that now we're getting off topic, but I'm like, there just needs to be more women specifically. And I know not all women are great angel giver types, whatever, but there's a lot more of
Not
women.
everyone can be Dolly Parton.
Not there's bad, selfish, whatever women too,
Yeah.
of
You know,
course.
I'm
I'm
two
just
degrees
saying
away of
more of them.
separation from Dolly Parton.
What?
Yep.
How?
Um, one of the girls that I photographed is Dolly Parton's niece. And then also the girl that does my nails. Well, not, I don't have my nails on right now,
You're
but
like my nails, your bear, little bear.
I was thinking about this. Do you want to get your nails done when you're here? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk later.
I really badly need a pedicure too.
I was thinking that. I was like, maybe we could get like pedicures and things like that. Okay, we'll talk after
Ah,
that.
girl day.
Um,
I'm going to Nashville, everybody. Did we tell
we
you?
can get our nails done and then watch Hot Frosty.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, to get back on topic, I don't know where we left off, but one thing about vision boards, because I know sometimes
Bring
I
it
get
back.
really stressed about like
Mm.
having to fit everything.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
make
yeah, yeah.
different ones. You can make a career in
I
finance one.
change them all the time too. I'm like,
Well,
I don't
that's
want
what I
that
was gonna
anymore.
say too. Like you can like your vision board can grow with you. You don't have to be like, well, I made this on December 31st, 2024,
It's
and it
set in
is
stone.
now May 5th
Yeah.
and 2026. And so now I have to keep going with this. Like you can change it as it goes along.
Yeah.
Like as you grow and things like that. And then something else that I also really wanted to say, well, okay, while you're making it,
Hmm.
first of all,
Yeah.
something
Oh,
that
yeah.
helps, something that helps to like just get started
Hmm.
is to journal or like
Yeah.
meditate on it to like help you get specific. So like do a scripting session
Yep.
um as if it's December 31st, 2026 or whatever year you're doing this in.
Yeah.
Like a year
2025.
later. Yeah. Well,
December 31st, 2025 would be.
yeah, why did I write 2026? I don't know what year we're in.
That would be 2 years from now.
Just an overachiever, you know what I mean? Um,
You can go that far ahead if
you
you
could
want.
go that far. You know what I mean? Anyway, the
Yeah.
point is that do that, and then Sadie talks about scripting all the time. So,
Yeah.
but I guess if you're new here, write about everything as if it has already happened, what you're
Yes.
feeling. How do you like want your days to feel? What do you want to do each day? Like, what are you grateful
Hmm.
for? What are you excited about? Or like, even what would you have liked to change? And it could be like
Yeah.
from certain specific categories, like, in whatever, and choose like one way that you can like work on these things in the following year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just also don't forget to like celebrate what you've done already, like we were talking about
Yeah.
before. Um,
Yeah.
but what I wanted to say before was in making this, if you're putting something on your vision board and you're feeling resistance, lean into that. Why are you
Mm.
feeling resistance? Lean in.
Leaning.
This is
That's
the
information about what you can tap on.
yes, like what are the feelings that you're having that are like
Hmm.
below this resistance? And exactly,
Yeah.
tap on it,
Yeah.
journal about it, do some shadow work with it, things like that.
Yeah. Burn it on the full moon, carefully
Yes.
and at your own risk.
Yeah. Don't put your fingers in your
Yeah.
candle like I
I
just
love
did.
that. I think too, yeah, if you're like struggling, you're like, okay, I don't know what my intentions are. I love you kind of we're getting at this like let's say you start with like picking your word of the year, right? And then you
Hmm.
can think about I always like this is what we're gonna do in the workshop, which got moved to this Saturday. So if you're listening to this, you want to come, you can sign up. But like break it down to the areas of your life and like what would like that mean in that area of life, right? Like what would
Yeah.
leaning in or what would outrageous, mean in home, family, romance, creative expression slash like hobby. I like to make an area of life, career, finance, all of these things, health, fitness, spirituality, personal development. You can kind of like break down these areas of life and then like see what pops out to you, like what feels most important, what feels most exciting, what would make the overall biggest difference in your like overall quality of life.
Yes.
And like really like zoom in on those areas of life then and then get even more specific there. But like I feel like that's a fun way to sort of like get more clarity is like pick a word of the year and then really think about like
Yeah.
what would that how would I define that in these different areas of life that I want transformation. And you don't need to set intentions in every area of life. I
Oh,
recommend you don't. When
yeah.
we do the year ahead scripting, we pick 3 goals for the entire year. We script out everything we want to change, but we pick the three that are going to have the most impact. A lot of times, one goal is going to trickle down easily, naturally into other things easily being accomplished, and so on. So, yeah, that would be, and you can put your word of the year on the vision board.
Yeah.
Um,
You could just put
there's,
words on the vision board, like
mhm.
any affirmations and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. And technical, where do you make your virtual vision board? I think Canva still has a free version. I have the paid version
I do
because,
too. I
yeah, I
need
use it
it.
so much for work. I hate
Yeah.
it being like, sorry, this is a pro feature. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I do
But I think
also make
there's
it on
free.
Pinterest.
I'll take like Pinterest images and then I'll like collage it on Canva and then
Mhm.
save the image and yeah, put it on my computer background.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you could get magazines, images, print off stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Also,
Play
like,
some subliminals or some music
yes.
that makes you like,
Yeah, set the
or you could play
mood.
Beyonce if that makes you feel hyped, or like whatever. There's no right one, but like get in like, or put on a movie that makes you feel like anything is possible, right?
Listen
Like
to Defying
create,
Gravity.
listen to Hamilton. Um, yeah, just like create an environment where you're gonna feel really good, inspired, hyped. Like anything is possible. Go for a walk first or like have a dance party before you sit down and do it, but like make it like fun, a vibe. You're like raising your vibration, you're getting hyped, you're listening to your favorite music, whatever it is. You can pour a glass of champagne if you want, or make tea or coffee or whatever. A little
Yeah.
mocktail. Um, and yeah, like because of the energy in the vision board too, like feel good while you're making it, like infuse it with your energy.
Yes. Yeah.
And I always like to do sort of um like I'll make like a sigil that represents everything that the vision board represents.
Okay, I love that.
Sigil is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, maybe we can do, have
Don't
we talked about that?
I've taught multiple classes on sigils. I don't there might be one on my YouTube, but maybe not. But we could talk about that another day. I always make a sigil for my um planner for the new year, and I put it on the front and back of the planner
Hmm.
to set intentions into like where I plan out my year and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, Now there's all sorts of things we can do, but I do sigils
that's
for that.
cool.
But you could do like a little intention setting ritual, like have your vision board there, light a candle, do a little visualization while you're like put energy into the candle, putting the like the intentions of the vision board into like that fire and letting it like send off into the universe. There's lots of fun ways too. You can like make it even more like witchy and fun. Um, just be creative and see like what you feel
Yeah.
called to. You could put the different things your vision board represents on bay leaves that are like
Yeah.
wishing leaves. And you could burn the bay leaves. Like there's so many fun things you could do. So just like have fun. I always think like magic, rituals, spell work, it's a creative practice and like it's for you. You can't really fuck it up like when your
Yeah.
heart's in the right place, right? And like
Yeah.
yeah, there's certain things culturally you want to be mindful of, close practices and stuff, but like for this kind of thing I don't think you need to worry about any of that.
Yeah. No,
A
I was gonna say
candle or
too,
whatever you
yeah.
want, yeah.
In your vision board, you can also just like create a vibe. It doesn't always have to be
Mhm.
like specific
Yeah.
intentions or goals or anything like that. Like what do you want your like vibe to
Hmm.
be like? And then I think before I forget, you said something that made me think of it, but I can't remember what you even said. Sorry. It was a little bit ago. Um, but you said something that made me think of like, you know, setting your intentions that are like actionable and achievable. So I know I just said you could set a vibe, but like if you are putting specific intentions and stuff, like set
Hmm.
things that are, Dad, what do you want? Sorry, my dad just started calling me. Um, that are that you can like actually take action on and that are achievable. You know, you can be like we talked about last week in the Capricorn episode, like you can be a little delulu, you can be a little like outrageous.
Hmm.
But also if you're like, this year I want to launch my business and make $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
Hmm.
Probably not the most reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. I
uh,
think, yeah, like I think that's such a good point. Like you could put like $1 million. You can put the number on your vision board, but then
yeah.
like in your like make the vision board Delulu, and then when you're like setting your intentions, you're doing the practical pieces of it. It's like what's the stepping stone that you're gonna work
Yes.
towards first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to say. Sorry. I got
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
My dad called. Um, but yeah, that's I think a big thing with it too, because
Yeah.
I know I've done that where like I put on my vision board and I'm just like, I'm gonna travel to all of these places. But in reality, I was like touring at the time and I was like, when do I have time to
Yeah.
do that? And also like I'm not anyway, but you get the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
You get it.
You get it.
You get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, have fun creating your vision board. And
Yeah.
then like remember, like this is meant for your subconscious to just like soak it in whenever you pass by it. And manifestation, there are passive elements to it, your subconscious mind working on things on its own, but it also is our job to be co-creators. Part of that co-creation is the energetic slash like mindset slash spiritual work, like deciding like I'm gonna tap every day on this thing or whatever. And then also taking action.
Yes. Yeah.
And all of these things we do, the mindset, the ritual, all of it, it helps open up our intuition to know the next steps. And sometimes those next steps don't make sense, but it is our job to follow them.
Yes.
And that is going to bring our vision to life. So just be open and willing to take action, to get a little uncomfortable, to show up for yourself. Remember that it's like the day to day that feels a little mundane, that feels like, is this even doing anything? Me tapping on my head and my clavicle every day. Like, why am I doing this every day? Yes. Oh my goodness,
Yes.
yes. It is building up momentum. It is opening up your intuition. It is expanding your capacity to receive. It is doing all of the things. I actually had last night when I couldn't sleep, I feel like I was just getting inundated with all of this, like, I don't know, like messages, I guess, like whatever. And one of them was like thinking about, I was thinking about this is off topic now, but I was thinking about the concept of being like worthy or
Mm,
deserving, right? And a lot of affirmations being around like, I'm worthy of receiving or I'm worthy and deserving of the things I desire. And that's good if we don't believe those things about ourselves. I'm not saying those are bad affirmations. What I'm saying is you don't have to you are inherently worthy and deserving. There's nothing you have to do to like prove yourself
yeah.
to receive these things. An example of that is like there's a lot of shitty people that receive things.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about your like um your goodness or you've done enough or whatever, right? Um it really is, and I was just thinking about how, the concept of like abundance being infinite, and abundance doesn't just mean money, it means literally anything. It just means a lot of, right?
Yes.
And, like, the concept of infinite abundance, especially like love and magic and yes, like money and all the things, right? And it's like I was just thinking about, you know, how it can get frustrating sometimes when you're manifesting. You can feel like, why isn't this working out for me? I've been working on this for so long. But I feel like I was feeling like this visual of like a dam, sort of like stopping the flow of abundance in whatever way you're thinking of abundance for you personally when you're listening to this. You're like, yeah, I need abundance in this area of my life. There's this dam stopping the flow, and the operator of this dam is simply waiting for you to be ready because when,
Mm,
right, it starts flowing, they don't want you to drown,
yeah.
right? Which drowning could mean like self-sabotaging, just not being able to. So it's more, it's not about becoming worthy or earning the I deserve it now. It's
Yeah.
more about feeling safe in our bodies, feeling safe on a spiritual level, um, expanding our capacity for it. And all of these things expand our capacity for it so that like we when the floodgates open, we're like, hell yeah, we're about it. We're not like, oh no, we're like, I
Yeah.
can't stop this. Put the damn bag down, but I can't handle this. This is too much, right?
Yeah.
And
Kind of
so
like
yeah.
the Panama Canal is like how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah,
like
yeah.
you go this and then you go like up one level and then
Yeah.
doop
And
doop
like
doop doop.
just thinking about the like, okay, if everything I think Louise Hay says this or something semblance of it, like everything is always working out in my favor, or at any given time, everything is always working out for me. And sometimes it really doesn't fucking feel like that, you know? And I feel like I struggled with that a lot this year because I've always said that affirmation. And this year I was like, I just don't believe that anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't think that can be true. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, absolutely true. So
Yeah.
grateful that things just weren't working out to tell me this isn't the way we're going.
Yeah.
Um,
You know that gif of Oprah where she's like, to me, that was like, you said that, and I was like, the universe is like,
like, see? So I feel like if you're in a space where you're like, this isn't working out, this isn't working out, this isn't working out, and you're like, look, ladies, I really can't get behind the idea that everything is working out for me at any given point in time. I hear ya.
yeah, same. Hello.
I hear ya.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it's like the universe protecting us or the universe just refusing to offer us more on a path that isn't what we actually want. Like we think we
Yeah.
want, and the universe is like, I'm not withholding this to be mean, but
Yeah.
I know this isn't what you want. And
Yeah.
you told me that you want to
You
live.
said.
You, bitch, you specifically told me you wanted to live in alignment with your higher self. And so
Yeah.
I am showing you this is not the way, this is
This
not
is not the
that.
way. Yeah.
And we're convinced it is, and we're fighting.
Yeah. So also like rant journal about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that will help like get that out. And then I feel like sometimes when I do that, I'll rant journal about something. And then afterwards I'm like, oh.
Oh. Yeah, that's my favorite practice too. We can talk about that another time, but rant journal. That's what I have all my clients start with is a rant journal. Just be like, what's actually going on here?
Yeah.
In conclusion, we're gonna have the best year of our lives so far, and it's gonna be so good and so fun. Happy episode 25, everybody. Anything else from you, Pam?
I don't think so.
It's our
I
masterclass on vision boards
I was
and
gonna make a
other
post
stuff.
today about like with all these like reflection questions that will help you kind of
Mm,
make vision boards. I haven't posted it yet, and also this will come out in 2 days anyway. So take a look at my profile.
take a
It'll
look.
be there.
And if you want to come to my best year yet workshop, it was supposed to be yesterday, but I got sick. And I also was sick and didn't get to hype it up properly. So it's now on Saturday, the 4th at 11 a.m. Central. Obviously, the replay is always available, but if you want to come, we're going to be doing some tarot reflection. We're going to be doing my year ahead scripting. We're going to be doing really deep dive in creating the practical and energetic roadmap for you creating your best year yet.
Fun.
And if anyone here was like, oh, I kind of wanted to do the year ahead reading with you, Sadie, but I just, I know holidays are expensive, might not be in the budget right now. This is like the masterclass of us doing it in a group, besides my psychic channeling, of course. This is we're doing that like road mapping and like getting that clarity together as a collective. So this is like the perfect thing to come in and do if you're like, I just, the reading wasn't in my budget, even though I want to do it. Come to the workshop.
Yeah.
It's gonna be give the same energy. And we're gonna create that together. It's gonna be so much fun. And you're gonna have a roadmap for your best year yet. It's gonna be so fun. I'm so
Yay.
excited. It's the third annual. I can't believe it.
Third annual
Mm-hmm. Do it every
year.
New Year's. I was about to say Christmas. I was like, Close. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to look back on like the year previous and be like, oh my God, I forgot I wrote that and that all fucking happened. It's really cool. So, come join me for that. You can do it as a standalone workshop or it's inside my membership. Either way, you can join.
Very fun.
It'll be super fun. And if you hear this after, you can still join. It just will be the replay, which will be just as effective and powerful and amazing.
And
So
fun.
it's in the show notes. And I do still have some year ahead readings if you want to do that. I'm really excited. I know it's the beginning of January, but I have really fun stuff planned for February. Valentine's
Mm,
Day will be coming up before we know it. And I'm going to be doing like a love alchemy virtual retreat thing. So get excited for that. It's
cool.
gonna be super fun. Um, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. That's what's going on with me.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
And that's what you was
Uh,
ugly.
all right. So, where can we find you?
Find the Giggly Witches at Giggly Witches on everything. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. Leave a review. We love you for
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
And you can find me at I am Sadie Olson on Instagram and TikTok. Magic with Sadie on YouTube, where you can find lots of great tapping videos and some magical master classes and things like that. And what about you, Pam?
I am Velvet Snake Oracle on Instagram and TikTok. And right now, you can get my free tarot guide that teaches you all how to read tarot for yourself and get started on your own tarot journey. And then, coming in the new year, sometime, stay tuned. Um, our all new kind of really fun readings with like astrology and human design and maybe some tarot and mediumship and energy work and all kinds of cool fun things. But I need your help. Ow, I just hit my elbow. I need your help to help me
That's
help
it.
you.
Bye, everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
To help me
The
help
long pause.
you. Um, I would love to hear like what you guys are really like. I would love help with this. This is what I'm struggling with right now. This is what I need clarity on, XYZ kind of things. That way I can do my best to help you.
Hell yeah. Go talk to Pam.
Yay.
We love it. We'll
Yeah.
see you next week. Maybe. Just kidding. We'll definitely be here next week. I was
Yeah.
just joking because of episode 25. We made it.
We made it.
Okay.
Yay.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye.